Welcome dear children, welcome to another video session. In this video, we are going to see the summary of chapter 13, sound. You can see a variety of sound air around you. Just close your eyes and listen to the different types of sound that you can hear. It may vary from the honking of vehicles, or chirping of birds, or a baby crying, or the whistle from the pressure cooker of your kitchen. So you can hear different sounds around you. So in this chapter, we are going to see how sound is produced, what is sound and how sound is produced, and what are the different characteristics of sound, how sound wave travel through a medium, and how sound is produced in humans and how sound can be received by humans. Also, we have seen the concept of audible and inaudible sound and noise, how it is different from a musical sound, and we have discussed also about noise pollution. Let us see the mind map of the chapter. Chapter 13, sound. In the first section of the chapter, we have defined the term sound. Sound is a form of energy which can create sensation to our ears. Next, we have seen how sound is produced. Sound is produced by vibration of any material. So what is vibration? Vibration is a to and fro motion or the up and down motion of a material about a mean position. For example, the movement of a pendulum or that of a seesaw. All are examples of this vibratory or oscillatory movement. Next, we have discussed about the different types of musical instruments. Musical instruments, we all know it will produce sound of different frequency. So we have discussed what are the vibrating portion in each of the musical instrument and how musical instruments can be classified. We have seen string instruments, percussion instruments and wind instruments. Next, we have seen how sound is produced in human beings. In human beings, when you are talking, if you put your fingers around your throat, you can feel something vibrating over here. See children, in human beings, sound is produced from voice box, or you will call it larynx, which is located on the uppermost part of the windpipe of trachea. So, what is there in the voice box or larynx? This voice box, it consists of two vocal cords. They are stretched membranes across the your voice box, and there is a slit in the middle of it. So when we inhale or exhale, the air will pass through the slit and it will cause this vocal cords to vibrate to produce sound. So the sound which is produced like this, how it is perceived in a human body, we can hear with the help of our ears. So what is the mechanism or working mechanism of our ears, or how our ears will help to perceive sound? Our ears, it consists of mainly three portions. They are outer ear, middle ear and inner ear. So outer ear, as all of you can see, it's a funnel like portion through which after that auditory canal is there, and at the end of the outer ears there is eardrum. It is a stretched membrane across your auditory canal. Sound signal which is received by our ears, it causes our eardrum to vibrate. The vibrations of our eardrum is amplified by our middle ear. Middle ear, it consists of mainly three bones, incus, malleus and stapes. And this amplified vibrations, it is transmitted to our inner ear. In inner ear, it is a place where these vibrations, it is converted into electrical signals, and this electrical signals is carried to our brain by the help of our auditory nerves. So that is the working mechanism of our ears. Next, we have seen sound requires a medium to travel, whether it be solid, liquid or gas. Sound can travel both through solids, liquids and through gas, but it cannot propagate through vacuum. And you have seen the velocity of sound is faster or more in liquid or solid mediums compared to gaseous mediums. Why? Because they have tightly packed particles. Next, we have seen the characteristics of sound. As we have already discussed, sound is a vibratory motion or oscillatory motion of materials. So, this oscillatory motion is mentioned by the following parameters, that is frequency, amplitude and time period. So, what is frequency? It is the number of oscillations per second. How many vibrations are made per second? That is frequency. And it is measured in the unit called hertz. And amplitude. Amplitude is the displacement of vibration from the main position. How much the sound signal have displaced from its main position. That is amplitude. Amplitude is measured in meters. So, this frequency, it denotes the pitch of the sound. If the frequency is high, we will say it is a high pitch sound, or if it is low, we will say it is a low pitch sound. And the loudness of the sound is measured by its amplitude. The loudness of the sound is directly proportional to the square of the amplitude. That means if the amplitude is increased by 2, the loudness, it will be varied or changed by a factor of 4, and it is the loudness of the sound, it is measured in a unit called decibels. Next is time period. Time period is the reciprocal of frequency, or 1 by f we will say, and the unit is seconds. The sound wave, it can travel in all directions from its source. So children, these are few of the characteristics of sound waves, that is frequency, amplitude and time period. Here frequency will determine the pitch of the sound, amplitude it will determine the loudness of the sound. And next we have seen about the concept of audible and inaudible sounds. See children, all the sounds we cannot hear. There is a range of frequency for sound so that it can be perceived by human ears. For example, we cannot perceive, or human ears cannot perceive the sounds less than 20 Hz and more than 20 kilohertz. So, that is a range of our perception of our ears. So, which are less than 20 Hz and more than 20 kilohertz, we will group into inaudible sounds. We cannot hear it. And which are in between the range of 20 Hz to 20 kilohertz, we will call them audible sounds. Next, we have discussed about noise and musical sounds. See children, noise, when we say in science the word noise, it means any unpleasant sound, any sound which is unpleasant to our ears. And any sound which is pleasing to our ears, we will say it is a musical sound. And in the last section of the chapter, we have discussed about noise pollution. There are many unwanted noise or high noises in the environment. So, this unwanted noise in the environment, we will call them noise pollution. This noise pollution is a threat to human health also. See, it will cause lack of sleep, anxiety or hypertension, and even prolonged exposure to high pitch or loud sound. It will cause to permanent or temporary impairment of your ears. Also, we have discussed different methods to reduce noise pollution. That means we can keep silencing device, or we can minimize, in our house we can minimize our TV or radio volume, or we can plant trees to reduce sound in the atmosphere or in our premises. So, these are the different methods by which we can reduce the sound pollution. So children, that's mind map all about. We have discussed about the term sound, how it is produced, and in different musical instruments, what are the different vibrating parts. Then we have discussed how sound is produced in humans and it is how it is perceived by our ears. Then we have discussed about sound always requires a medium to propagate, and in vacuum it can't propagate. Next we have discussed different characteristics of sound, that is frequency, amplitude and time period. We have discussed about audible and inaudible sounds, noise pollution. So children, that is a summary of the chapter all about. Dear children, hope this video helped you to get the summary of chapter 13 sound. Thanks for watching. We'll see you all during interactive sessions.